Hello dear Sinceres. So on the 16th of February we will have a full moon in Leo, and it's all about love, 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 love. Where we also have Venus and Mars conjunction 2 days after Valentine's Day, the most romantic day of the year. So full moon is the time when the lunar cycle reaches its peak. It's like after a buildup of energies, now those energies have reached a climax, and then it's kind of explodes in a time period that in ancient times is known to leave people more sensitive, unstable, reactive, and that's how we get all of those kind of stories about werewolves, about, wolves and making those noises in the full moon. And it's also being the time where most crimes seem to be committed, most violence or violent acts seem to be committed. And also if you think about the word lunatic being attributed to people that tend to be influenced by this phase of the moon. So at full moon, the energies are asking us to take a pause, go inwards, reflect, clear and let go of all the energies and things that don't serve us, that are harming and hindering us. So things like toxic emotions, toxic feelings, thoughts, resentments, letting go of negative habits, because the moon is very much connected to our habits and patterns, letting go of people or behaviors that are not being beneficial to us. So it's a great time for practicing all of these letting go, all of this cleanliness, and for forgiveness and doing gratitude lists. And it's also a great period for introspection or for re-evaluation of things, to rethink the path we've led so far in terms of the actions and things that we are wanting to manifest, our plans. Because we had the new moon where we plant the seeds, and now we can think, okay, what are the obstacles? What is it not working? What do we need to let go? What does need a course correction in the path towards what we want to achieve? It's like that moment when the coach gathers the sports team to reevaluate the strategy and take a break, so that now they can start scoring more and more. The sun is in opposition to the moon, and therefore, from the Earth's perspective, the moon is luminous, also shining a light in our shadow areas. And with light, we can suddenly see all the dirt in the corners of our space, of ourselves, that needs some cleaning, that needs some kind of undoing, some kind of cleans. And we can look at this as receiving information that allows us to take opportunity to integrate opposing poles and find that sweet middle spot of these two opposing forces, two opposing polarities, instead of kind of feeling ourselves kind of be pulled or dragged into either of the extremes, where we find ourselves in some kind of an emotional hysteria or being controlled by our shadow areas, or unconsciously acting without knowing exactly what we're doing. From a spiritual esoteric point of view, this time period is not recommended that we get involved in many activities that can affect our emotional and our energetic bodies, like our astral body. But to do things instead that lead us to have a more balanced way, more balanced emotional state. So we need to be careful in the types of movies we're watching that can affect us emotionally, that can affect the way our energy body feels, that are fearful, or doing kind of arguments, having this kind of discussions with people that can be blown out of proportion. It's also not a good time for doing magical rituals or ceremonies or psychedelic drugs or spirits or beverages, or even sex can leave our auras open to the amplification of these full moon energies and leave us open to all types of influences, and not always of the positive type. As even from an astrological perspective, the sun and the moon, so our conscious and our subconscious, are having this kind of tense aspect and opposition. So it's like this world of emotions, the world of the subconscious, the astral world, and this underworld of the collective unconscious has kind of opened a portal, has kind of opened this doorway where all kind of influences are running amok, and they can affect us in some way. Like the sun usually is the soul, the light of consciousness, of life, of wisdom, of common sense. And the moon is more the subconscious part of us. So, and this kind of tense aspect doesn't help. But there's a period usually just before the two moon, usually about 2 days before, that is usually quite beneficial, more beneficial than a full moon day itself, for all kinds of magical, ceremonial, or astral type practices. So full moon in Leo is a moon that talks to the heart. An opposition talks of two opposing forces, opposing views. So Leo is in opposition to Aquarius, the current season, where the sun is. So you have the struggle between these two forces, the sun towards the Aquarius and the moon towards Leo. And Aquarius, in its shadow side, if you want to know more about Aquarius, you can check my new moon in Aquarius. But let's talk a bit of the shadow side of the Aquarius. It's kind of rational, cold, and emotional side that seeks a bit to make everyone the same without care for the people's individual self-expression. It puts science and technology above any emotional matters, and it makes those its highest values. But Leo is the opposite. In a good way, it values the individual self-expression, the creative endeavors, pleasurable activities like hobbies, like taking time for yourself. It doesn't take everything in life so seriously, or sometimes it can actually add a bit of a playful drama. And it's about abundance, it's about being generous, it's about romantic love, physical and emotional intimacy. And it's also about valuing one's own effort, accomplishments, having a kind of sense of valor, satisfaction and joy for the new achievements, the things that we have accomplished. And it also talks of having a positive self-talk, of being bold, self-confident, of having this kind of forward attitude that believes in itself. But on its shadow side, moon in Leo can show signs of arrogance, vanity, being very prideful, thinking too highly of themselves, and acting in snobbish ways, and sometimes even self-sabotaging because of ego. Undervaluing oneself as well can be included in this on a negative side, and being overly dramatic, not giving much attention to their own gifts. A full moon can have an expression of either the positive or the shadow sides of this aspect. And we can take advantage of the positive energies and use them, but we can also be tempted to fall in its extremes. And this full moon will also have Venus-Mars conjunction happening, which I will be making a video about, that you can check. So please don't forget to subscribe if you want to check it out. And so this Venus-Mars conjunction is like the meeting of the two famous lovers from the Greco-Roman mythology. Venus is the planet of love, and Mars is the planet of war and sex. And it's like they will be meeting for a liaison that will last for at least 2 full months, which is longer than the period that they usually spend together. And so they will be bringing these energies of love, romance, coupling, relationships very strongly, in addition to this Leo full moon happening, which is, as I said, very much about the heart. Because Venus-Mars will still be conjuncting Capricorn, and they will carry an energy of commitment. They will bring kind of this energy to a relationship that will try to be more of a solidification, of a visualization of that connection, of that partnership. Or even the relationship that happens can be long-lasting. They can become long-lasting. However, this conjunction is not all love and kisses, and it also carries the energy of the god of war, Mars. And these two, Venus and Mars, are usually known for their intense fighting. They are great lovers, but they also fight a lot. And in full moon days, they can make the energy more sweet, more romantic, soft tone, and use the passion and intensity of love during the Valentine's Day period, which you can take advantage of, and which is really auspicious for all things love. But also you need to be careful with the other side. Another interesting thing about this full moon is that at 27 degrees, and it will be making a grand cross with the nodes. Grand cross aspects happen when you have two oppositions in the chart that make 45-degree angles with each other, like this. Or when you have a group of four squares that connect with the signs in the same modality, so like fixed, cardinal, or mutable. And the grand cross type of aspects in the fixed modality, which is the one that we will have now, hold tense energies, almost like two sides holding a rope that is almost about to break, or a dam that is about to rupture. And the pressure that can cause, if there's pressure on it added to it, they can cause it to finally burst or break. Another interesting thing is that North Node will be conjuncting the malefic star Algol, also called the Medusa's head at 27-degree Taurus, said to be associated with violence, instability, and stubbornness, but is favorable to win battles, or for those who aren't doing a battle and have the star. And the other interesting thing is that this degree, 27th degree, is also reactivating the last lunar eclipse that took place on the 19th of November, and it was also at 27-degree Taurus. All of this seems to point to a karmic cleanse if we use the energies wisely. And we will have this opportunity to let go of the things that do not serve us, that hinder our self-esteem, to act in wiser ways towards one another, to release the past, to move on towards the future, and let go of what doesn't serve us anymore. Is an opportunity to look at the shadow and the inferior forces that are controlling us in our subconscious mind. And they are those forces that are moving us to act in ways that hinder us or sabotage us or lead us to create even more karma. Because the North Node is about the future. And as the North Node will be conjuncting Algol, plus squaring the full moon in Leo, and also this full moon will be squaring Scorpio's South Node. It also might be shining a light on where we are being stubborn in letting go of our ego. Where are we willing to attack another just so we can feel superior, better than? What shadow we have that can lead us to stick to past ideas of control, of violence, of possessiveness? What is holding us back from moving towards the future, to evolve, to grow? Are we being too prideful? Are we forgetting to feel from the heart? What behavior are we still engaging that is leading us to feel more isolated and alone? Can we find that sweet middle spot between our self-expression and individuality and belonging to the world, to humanity, and moving towards the future we want to create? So from a mundane perspective, these tense aspects between the South Node, full moon, North Node, and Sun might appeal more to the Martian side of the Venus-Mars conjunction, as Mars is in exaltation still, and can possibly originate wars, intensification of conflicts, or tensions, fights, and arguments in the air. It's possible to hear news about some violent occurrence that took place in the world as well, and I hope that that's not true, but it's possible that it can happen. A way to use the positive aspects of this moon is to do some self-reflection on the day of the full moon. It's not really the best day to do many activities or be very extroverted, but rather use it for a reflective moment. Take some time off, some introspective time. So things that you can do is like ask yourself, how have you been using the energies of the heart? How have I been loving this month? How much love have I been giving to others and to myself? Am I letting the heart desires, my heart desires, find their true expression? Where do I feel creative, and how can I be more creative? How can I express more my creativity? Am I being truly authentic, heart-centered, or am I just thinking with my head all the time, calculating how can I get other people's attention? How much have I been generous this month? Do I love and give generously? Am I allowing myself some glamour and some shine, or leaving that nice outfit, that beauty treatment, that nice glassware only for a special occasion? Even if you are single, make the use of the Valentine's Day and allow yourself to look the best. Plan to do a hobby in the next few days after the full moon that sparks your passion, or that you used to do and that made you feel a lot of enthusiasm. Play with children. Let them teach you how to play again. Be romantic. Offer flowers, chocolate, or something similar to a friend, a relative, a love interest, or to yourself if you don't have anyone to give to you. If you are single in this season, dare to believe in love. Dare to believe that you are worthy of love and that the love can come into your life. Some things you should avoid doing during the full moon are starting an argument with anybody, because this can get into too much drama, or seeking to be the center of attention, getting other people's attention, calling other people's attention all the time, because you can get into behaviors that will have the opposite result. Holding on to your pride, thinking that you are better than anyone or others, or that other people are less important than you. Going into indifference, aloofness. Avoid drama at all costs. Extroversion in high dosages. Loneliness. If you are single and you are feeling lonely, you can, for example, arrange a kind of a nice moment with friends or with relatives or people that are single as well. Avoid negative thoughts or low self-esteem. Staying dull, apathetic, stuck on a day-to-day routine without any moment of pleasure or fun. Avoid revisiting all of your past love pains and feeling sorry for yourself. Use this full moon for a period of awareness, grounding, reflection, and going within. You can also take this period to read, to listen to inspiring people talks, videos that will uplift you and lift your energies high. Stay on a high vibration during this full moon period. And I hope you have enjoyed this video. If so, please press like, subscribe below. Visit me also at cynthiasincere.com for consultations, readings, and coaching. I wish you a super Valentine season with much, much love in your life and in yourself. May the stars and the cosmos be with you.